They say behind every great man is a woman, but no one mentions that the great man might throw that woman onto the street the moment he reaches the summit. I am Sarah, the woman who sold her wedding ring so her husband could open a kiosk. And today, I am here to buy his billion-dollar empire while he kneels at my feet. The story began 15 years ago. Newlyweds with nothing but dust in our pockets. James was a brilliant engineer, but the world was against him. We ate bread and cheese to save for his dream project. I remember when he came home crying, "I can't pay the office rent. I'm going to jail, Sarah." I had no choice but the velvet box, my gold, my wedding ring, my mother's inheritance. I went to the jeweler and sold everything. When I placed the money in his hands, his eyes sparkled. He said, "I promise, Sarah, this money is a debt I will repay. I will make you the queen." I believed the promise. Oh, how naive I was. 5 lean years passed. I worked as his secretary, accountant, and cleaner just to save an employee's salary. I'd come home to cook and clean, my hands raw from bleach. He was busy building his future. I didn't buy new clothes. I patched my old ones so he could wear sharp suits to meet clients. Finally, the sky smiled at him. The project was a massive success. Money flowed like water. We moved to a villa, bought the latest cars. I thought it was time to rest, time to be the queen he promised. I didn't know that the old queen had to be discarded because the new king was shedding his skin. One day, he walked in with a stunning woman, young and incredibly chic. He said, "Sarah, this is Chloe, my new office manager. She'll help you fix your style to befit my wife." The words stung, but I stayed silent. Chloe looked me up and down with disgust, a look I would understand all too well later. Chloe wasn't just a secretary. She was a cancer slowly eating away my life. She started controlling everything, changing the villa's decor, choosing James's diet, deciding who could visit. James was under her spell. Whenever I spoke up, his reply was ready. "You're outdated, Sarah. Chloe understands etiquette. Learn from her." The second blow struck at the company I sold my gold to build. I went to visit him, but security stopped me. "No entry without an appointment, ma'am." I screamed, "Are you crazy? I own this place." A mocking voice came from behind. "You used to own it, Auntie. Now this is a global corporation with rules." It was Chloe. I went home crushed, but James smoothed it over with empty words. "Get ready. Tomorrow is the grand opening. I want you to be an honorable face for us." My foolish heart believed him again. I thought this was my chance. I bought an expensive dress for the first time in years, fixed my hair, looked in the mirror, and said, "Tonight is your night, Sarah." The gala was like a fairy tale. Lights, cameras, celebrities. I stood beside James, holding his arm proudly. The microphone turned on, and James began. This success wouldn't be possible without a woman who believed in me, my life partner. I squeezed his hand, smiling for the cameras, thinking he meant me. Suddenly, he pulled his hand away from mine, pointed to the other side, and said, "Presenting the VP of the board and my future fiancée, Chloe." The hall erupted in applause. Chloe walked on stage, shining like a diamond, and I stood frozen, a statue of ice amidst the laughter and flashes. In that moment, James reached into his jacket pocket, pulled out an envelope, and tossed it at me. I left the gala clutching the envelope. It wasn't a compensation check, nor an apology letter. It was my divorce papers. I walked the streets in the rain, feeling naked despite wearing an expensive gown. I retreated to a cheap rental apartment and sat in the dark for a month, asking myself, why? One day, I looked in the mirror. I saw an old, broken woman. I wiped my tears and said, James stole my money, but he couldn't steal my brain. I wrote the feasibility studies. I built the system. I cut my hair, put on my glasses, and decided the woman who died must be buried so Lady Sarah can be born. I started from zero, an old laptop and a pseudonym, SM. I worked as a freelancer for James's competitors, fixing their errors and feeding them market secrets James monopolized. Pennies turned into dimes, dimes into thousands. I slept 2 hours a night. The fire of revenge was my fuel. On the other side, Queen Chloe was sinking the ship. Clueless about management, she fired the veterans and hired her friends. Sales plummeted. Stocks crashed. Word reached me that James was screaming at her day and night. Schadenfreude tastes so sweet, everyone. The company was going bankrupt. James needed immediate liquidity to avoid jail. A mystery investor appeared in the market, offering to buy the company's debt. James agreed instantly without asking who, a drowning man clutching at a straw. The contract signing date was set. The meeting day. James sat in the boardroom, wringing his hands in anxiety, while Chloe sat filing her nails, indifferent to the disaster. The lawyer entered. "The investor has arrived, sir." James stood up, fixing his tie. "Send him in immediately. I have to kiss his hand to make him sign." The door opened, but it wasn't a man in a black suit. It was the sound of high heels echoing with terrifying confidence. Suddenly, she appeared, a sharp white suit, sunglasses, and an aura of power. She slowly removed her glasses, looked at James, and said, "Hello, old partner. Did you miss me?" James stumbled back, hitting his chair. His face turned pale as a ghost. He whispered in shock, "Sarah, you are the investor?" She replied coldly, "It's Miss Sarah, the new owner of your group." She threw a file onto the table, the same way he once threw the divorce papers. "Your debts are mine now. Pay up immediately, or pack your things and get out of my company." James looked at Chloe, pleading, "Chloe, baby, say something. We'll stand together, right?" Chloe looked at him with disgust, grabbed her bag, and said, "Stand with you? You're a beggar now. I was with a businessman, not a bankrupt loser." She walked away, leaving him, just as he had left Sarah. Karma is real. Security escorted the collapsing James out of the building, and I sat in my chair at the head of the table. I looked out the window at the city where I was once a stranger and broken, and smiled. Justice might be delayed, but it never dies. And you too, never give up on your rights. The world turns. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and Sarah just served a frozen feast. But tell us, was this justice or just cruelty? If you were in her shoes, would you offer him mercy or destroy him completely? Let the debate begin in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and send us your own stories. See you next time.